Oh, just as we were transitioning over there. That's so yeah, the last time we were in here, we did some work on the wide body, I guess, as far as here for the McLaren. So how much are we worth here? This is crazy. So we got this for just under 700K at the junkyard, mind you. And now we're worth this much. We still got some work to do on the front end. So I think that's going to be the first order of business. Just run through the list here. So we did fix up quite a bit of everything else. Yep, so we got brake pads, all that kind of stuff. Let's work on that. Let's get it up on the lift. Alright, so what we ended up doing... Yeah, we got some front end here to work to do. Is take these front tires off. We got most everything done in the back end. And we did come to find... Speaking of which, it's probably not going to be able to tell this way. We did come to find, I guess, as far as the exhaust that goes on there, it does not line up at all with the exhaust that's on the engine. So it's just kind of there. So that's about the only flaw. Besides, on this config, the drive axles do not line up with the gearbox. Okay, we got to get this lifted up all the way to get the rest of that off of there. Okay. So we got the front end all off there. Let's see what we can get fixed up here on the front end. Okay, so we got what we could fix up there. Let's see what else we need. So you can get these machined. Let's get those machined. So those are machining. Let's get some new brake pads. I think we got just about everything we need. We'll get the things that we do need, I guess, as far as we put this front end back together. So we're going to need brake servo, battery, and all that good stuff. We haven't even got this thing started yet. Alright, let's get the tires back on. Got some pretty beefy tires. Look how big these tires are on that thing. So, can we get at this from here? How do we get at the... Can we not get at the servo from here? Or do we have to take this off? Oh, that's all got to come off. That's interesting. Okay, hold on. It's way underneath here. So I wonder if you just got to get to that out from underneath. Okay, so we need a bug juice container there. Alright, so that's all good there. I think we came to find that this does not have power steering. Kind of wild. So I don't know how the steering is on these in reality, but that's kind of crazy. Look how wicked that looks like as far as no front end. Let's put this back on though. So we got this car part 1. That is not repairable. So is this repairable? Nope. It's right over here. Oh, it is repairable. But it didn't have the wrench on there. That's weird. Okay, we can fix that up then. Good deal. So let's put that back in. So that apparently is a body part. Got it fixed up there. Nice. It's kind of cool. I don't know what all that is in there. It looks like it's Kenwood. That kind of reminds me of audio system. We got our wide body front end. Yeah, we did come to find too that certain parts like this hood, doesn't matter which one you find, it's pretty they're interchangeable, I guess, as far as on certain parts like that. But other parts are, I guess, as far as are very specific. So the fact that you need a wide body front clamshell and the bumper. I kind of like this wide body look. It's got that pretty cool look to it. We did get the GT40 out just to kind of shows. This is our closest representation, I guess, as far as between this one and that one. Obviously, this is a wide body, but I think the standard McLaren, without being a wide body, is pretty close to the GT40 in comparison. That's why we got that out there for comparison. They do not have power steering. Take to the racetrack. It's interesting. Yeah, I could imagine not having any power steering. That's what I was kind of going with, I guess, as far as like, can you imagine not having any power steering on this thing with all that power? V12. Yeah, that is pretty interesting. All right, so what are we at now, just out of curiosity? Oh, we got that all fixed up. We are now, okay, so I don't know how much it went up there, but we're still 13 million. I guess I was looking at just the profit itself. That's just wild how much these things go for. All right, cool. So we are good on the front end. Body is 99, so we're pretty much good on the body. And I think we're ready to see if we can get this thing started. So we got to get some fluids into it. So we got adequate motor honey. Let's get some coolant. So by default, 627 seems kind of low actually, but we'll see what we get. Look how low this thing is to the ground, I guess, as far as the brakes go. That's wild. Yeah, this turned out pretty good. All right, I think we're ready to get it started. Yeah, the way these doors open. So I've come to find, I don't know if it's just on the wide body, but on the standard McLarens, they seem to open wider than this. So it's right in the middle. Okay, let's see if we can start it. She fired it right up. I think that was one thing we weren't able to do up until now. Let's get this over to the dyno and see if we get all of the base power. Let's see what we get here. Should get 627. Okay, I think we're good. Checking some audio. That gets really noisy. So we're already in the Class A 839. No performance parts on this thing. And we did get all the base power, so that's good. So no performance parts on this puppy. I'm just looking at how... Is that the way the tires work on the wide body? Did we put the wrong back end on this thing? So this is the right... this is the proper rear bumper. Wide body. That back on there. So I was just taking note of how this does not seem to line up there. Maybe it does. So the way the tires in particular, they're kind of still tucked under. So the rear clamshell... let me take that off. These are supposed to be wide body fenders. Yeah, these are the wide body fenders. So I don't know if that's the way that is in reality. It seems to like overlap, I guess, as far as in a weird way. So I guess that's the way that is, like that. Interesting. So it's got like a lip over the top of the wheel like that. Same with the front fender there. I don't know if I like that. Kind of a gaudy look to that wide body. So it doesn't really flow, I guess, as far as all the way down. Course door seam. Hold on. See, now it seems to open up wider. Interesting. Anywho, so yeah, I'm noticing, I guess, as far as how the fenders, I guess, as far as in the front and the back, they don't seem to extend all the way down towards the ground. We'll take us over to the drag strip. Let's have some fun with this now that we got our dyno. Do some suspension work on this. So yeah, let me take it back here real quick. Definitely did all that suspension works. Alrighty then. Yeah, that just looks, now that I've really noticed that those fenders, I don't like this wide body look, I guess, as far as, I think it should extend all the way down to the ground on both of those. So I'm sure, probably a reason why they do that, it's probably like an aerodynamic thing, I don't know. Yeah, she's a little bit out of whack, so let's go ahead and get her less out of whack. There we go. She should run nice and straight now. Love the way these doors open though, it's kind of well. I like it. It's kind of like a cross between the gull wing and the standard door. Kind of goes up on an angle. I didn't even realize this too. There's two rear view mirrors. Check that out. So not only the mirrors on the doors, but also two rear view mirrors instead of the one in the center, like there would normally be. And I'm sure it has a lot to do, I guess, as far as the center orientation of the driver. So that's pretty wicked. All right, let's get this over to the drag strip and see if we can have some fun with it now. So let's look at this. So we got a long tail to go up against. So the long tail we've come to find, which is the LT as far as parts go, it's just got a really longer rear end, so it sticks out. So instead of being so stubby like it is in the thumbnail here, kind of extends out. Look at all the tuning this thing's got. I wonder if it's trying to compensate for something. It's only got a 790, I guess, as far as on the Class A, even with all that tuning. So yeah, just to get a look at the long tail, it's got a longer tail, I guess, as far as just like the name implies. It doesn't even look like a McLaren, I guess, as far as in that respect, I guess, as far as in comparison to our wide body. Okay, let's get this back into the cockpit. I want to make sure, I hope this is not the camera that does the funky thing. We're gonna try it out. So the long tail beat us. We had a pretty decent reaction time too. Look at that, 9.5 to a 9.8. That almost seemed unfair. Let's try it again though. That long tail does look pretty good though. Just looking at the pan around. That second gear's kind of wonky. Oh, he got us again. That was even better, so we kind of flipped it as far as much better reaction time. 9.8 is about what we can get on this thing. Yeah, 9.6. So long tail can beat us with all that tuning. Let's try the NC drag. That's the twin turbo. Ooh, that was all operator error. Whoa, that second gear is ugly. Holy macro, that was a good race. 9.975 to a 9.924. Had a pretty decent reaction time. I think we're gonna have to put some performance parts to this bad boy. That's what it's looking like. Let's do another one. So we got another turbo, twin turbo. Is it just me? I'm not sure if it's just me. Oh, we did beat that one. Wow, that was a really close race. I don't know if it's just me. It seems like the camera shutters, I guess, as far as when you're going down the strip, seems to like flutter up and down. I don't know if that's by design of this car. Very distracting. So we had quite a bit of tuning on that thing too. Okay, so we can beat that twin turbo. That's the only car we can seem to be able to beat so far. So the long tail was beating us with 17%. This one's got even more. I'm not even going to try that one. Ooh, here's the GT Speciale Ferrari. That much tuning. We haven't gone against this dude. Let's try him out. Not that way, we won't do it. Here. Operator error. thinking that second gear really hurts this car. This second gear is not happy. I think we're going to have to put at minimum, I guess, as far as the performance gearbox in this thing. Yes. I think we actually have something for this one here, but that second gear is not very good. Let's do it again. Yeah, definitely for performance gearbox. That's what I'm thinking. That second gear just bogged right out. Yeah, if y'all are noticing, I guess as far as a little bit of flutter up and down, I guess as far as we go down. Yeah, I think we're going to fix this issue with the that. We're going to put a performance gearbox on it at minimum. That's going to be one of the first things we're going to do. All right, let's head this back to the house. See if we can fix that issue. Alrighty then. So let's get her back over to lift day. I'm not hating it. I'm just I think we can make it a little bit better. So let's get into here. We're going to have to take rear tires off. Okay, so that's all. Let's get ourselves a performance gearbox. Man, those are some wide tires. I think these are 385s, if I remember right. Some beefy tires, man. Yeah, there we go. See what we got. Let's get this back over to the dyno. Get this thing calibrated. We only got about a 30-mile-an-hour spread, but it is already set on 4, so that's good there. So, okay, let's try that out. Definitely need to get her dynoed. We should gain a little bit more horsepower, just as far as with that gearbox. Let's see how much we get. Yeah, this one's the wide body there, Darren. Wide body McLaren. So we gained 7 horsepower with that performance gearbox, and we were able to smooth out some of the gearings too. So we're up to 847 now. So we were 830 something previously. Alrighty then, we'll try this other strip. I keep wanting to sit. I keep forgetting this is a mid orientation driver's seat, so it's not like I always try to point right there at the edge of the door to get into it. All right, let's do the quarter mile. We got that 1% with the performance gearbox. Still need some fine tuning. Oh, we beat it. Nice. So we're in the 9.5. Well, that was a really good race. 9.523 to a 9.574. I think we might have something here now. Oh, we get a Koenigsegg this time. Ooh. That's all operator here. Still a little wonky on that second gear. Yeah, we went down, so we know we can do a 9.5. Absolutely know we can do a 9.5. Trying to figure out how to get that second gear tuned. Try it again. Trying to anticipate that tree. That's just so weird on that second gear. I might have to rebuild this whole gearing situation for this wide body. I don't like it at all. It's got some really weird gearing. Just trying to think. Let's do it one more time. Okay, we're getting our butt kicked by this Koenigsegg, that's for sure. All right. I need to do some fine tuning on this thing. Oh, back at the garage. I think that first gear just might be a little too short. So we're going to leave that alone. So it's got to go through more range, I guess, as far as before we have to shift. That's the approach I'm taking anyway. I'm not saying it's going to work, but in reality, I guess as far as that's what you'd want to do. I know the game mechanics here when it comes to gears, I guess as far as it's going to be a little bit funky. We'll try this one out. So we don't need to read dyno. Alright, let's try this setup. Oh, we get a Zonda this time. Nice, and it doesn't even have as much tuning. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, because so all the other cars we've gone up against, they've been in the double digits for tuning. Let's try the Zonda out. Oh, that's even funkier. So, third, fourth, and fifth gear seem fine. So that first and second gear, that's ugly. Try it again. This one was beating us prior, so let's try it again. Just anticipating. bogs out so bad. Okay, we're beating that dude now. How much tuning did he have on her? See, not as much tuning now. That's weird. So, y'all remember when we first came in here, they were having double-digit tuning? Now they don't. That's weird. Yeah, we're gonna have to go through these all again. So we're getting double-digit tuning on a lot of these opponents. I guess that's just the way that second gear is gonna be. Ooh, he did get us. We had a good reaction time. Ooh, tight race. Both in the 9.7s. I don't know what else I can do for that second gear, though. I don't really want to make the final drive, I guess, as far as shorter or taller, because the 3rd through 5th are good. Just those first 2 gears. Let me try this one again. See, it just bogs out so much in second. Okay, so this dude's beating the crap out of us still. And that one only had 8%, so not the double digits. And he's got a lower rating too. Okay, let's do... This one's the LM, so I don't know if this one's the... We never did come to find it as far as what the LM is, so I don't know if that's... It's obviously like maybe one step up from the base McLaren, but it's not a long tail and it's not a wide body. So it's got a lot of tuning on it, so let's see if we can beat it. I really don't like that first and second gear. Well, the LM beat us. Really good reaction time too. 9.7 to a 9.4, so the LM was kicking our butt with all that tuning. He had a ton of tuning. He's at 862, we're at 847 with that tuning. Interesting. There's another long tail. Crap ton. So we were going up against him with 17% and he was kicking our butt, so I'm not going to try that one. And what about the Counseling with that much tuning? So not double digit. Nope, that one's beating us. So that was 5%. All right, we're going back. So let's go over to the laptop and we're gonna try. Okay, I like the fact that it's a 20-mile-an-hour spread. And we'll give that a shot. That seems to be right on par, I guess, as far as with some of the other cars that we've got the performance engine to. They have it right around 50-mile-an-hour range-wise, I guess, as far as on the first gear. So when I went the other way, I guess, as far as I was trying to give it more range for it to go through before we had to shift. So this one would be a lot quicker shift. So we'll see how that goes. This would be a really, really quick shift if we just got it. Okay, 1/4 mile. So the LM, so he's got 20%. So I think the last one we went, we had 27. And it was a little bit less. He's at an 814, we're at an 847. All right, let's see how this works against the LM. Yeah, that's not bad, actually. Still beat us, though. 9.6 to, ooh, 9.3. So that LM is pretty fast, especially with all that tuning. That's what I'm observing here. So this much tuning on the LM, you can kick our butt. Let me do it again. Yep, so the LM is beating us. I just wanted to confirm. So that was much closer. Pretty much equal reaction times. So yeah, he's still beating us even with equal reaction times. That much tuning. Let's try another one. So what about this GT Special? So we're in the double digits on the tuning. I think I might have shifted too quick into third. 9.8 to a 9.5. Now I know we can get a 9.5. Yeah, I think that was just a misshift on my part. That was definitely a misshift on my part. That's better. What is with this 9.8 crap? Oh, I slept there a ton. Holy smokes. Let me do that again. You gotta really watch how quick you shift, though. Don't want to shift too quick. What is this 9.8 crap? That's some baloney. What's up with this garbage? That's actually a pretty decent reaction time. We should be getting right around that. That doesn't make any sense. Let me do that again. Now I might have to do something with third gear. 9.9. What is this garbage? Had a hellacious reaction time. What is this? It seems like we're going backwards. We know we can get 9.5. We just did that against the LM. Let's try this one. It's a 9.6, but we still look at that. We were dead even. 9.674. We were 162 to their 100. That's wild. Really good reaction time too. We can beat that Koenigsegg. How about the Zonda with that much tuning? Yeah. See, now the third gear bug though. Alright, I'm not liking this one. So in the fact that I know I've seen a 9.5 out of this thing, and now we're not getting it. So that's some horse bucky. Let's go back to the house here. Alright, let's see what we got here. So I usually don't like to go more than a 30-mile-an-hour spread between each gear. So let's see what we got based on. So we got a 20-mile-an-hour between first and second. And now we've got, yeah, we got a good 40-mile-an-hour spread, almost 38. I know that's like about a good 67-mile-an-hour spread, but that should be our cruising gear. First four gears are going to be our money gears, basically. Get it up to speed, and then fifth gear just to coast it into the finish line. There we go. Drag strip it is. Normally, from what I've come to find, I guess as far as you don't want more than 25-30 miles per hour per each gear. Keep the gears somewhat short, I guess, as far as, but not too short to the point where it's just like you're just immediately shifting, I guess, as far as into each gear. There's the long tail with a crap ton of so we already went against this dude with 17%. He was beating us, so I'm gonna try it anyway, just for giggles. A little better. That fifth gear is really tall, yep. So 9.7 to a 9.2. Yeah, we wouldn't have beat that dude. Nice. Indeed. So yeah, the fact that it has all that tuning. So we already went up against this dude with the 17%, and he was already kicking our butt. So that doesn't surprise me. So this one's the one. This one's the supercharged. .95 to a 9.7. See, I think we went backwards again. Racer Batman's got them all queued up. Let's see. One more time. So I need to see. Try to anticipate it. Good reaction time. What is this 9.8 crap? So we were doing so good against as far as getting that reaction time in the 9.5. That was a big fat no. Indeed. Okay, we're going back. Okay, that's a 40-mile-an-hour spread between those. Probably too high. Let's try 130. That's usually about the highest I usually want to go as far as mile-an-hour differential. That really brings that down, doesn't it? That's a 35-mile-an-hour spread. Try that out. Yeah, the fact that we're only doing this on the quarter mile too, that's going to make a difference. So if we wanted to take this anything more than a quarter mile, obviously we'd want it to be more mile power range, more range on it. Yeah, but for the quarter mile, this should be good. Okay, here we go. We get the drag. Nice. Twin turbo. We almost run out of gear there. We did beat it, so we had just about run out of gear, I guess, as far as for the quarter mile. Fifth. That's kind of what I expected, actually. So now we're getting into the 9.5s. So let's do Special. Just barely run out of gear. right at the quarter mile. So yeah, we can probably fine tune that a little bit more so it's not quite, so it's got a little bit more range on the fifth gear. She just starts to run out of gear, I guess, as far as that quarter mile. Twin turbo Camaro, a little bit of tuning. It hits the rev chip, it hits the chip, it gets as far as right at the finish line. Alright, let's take this back. Alright, so what we're gonna do was pretty short, so it was at, give a little bit more range on that fifth gear. Let's try that out. Just getting her dialed in on the quarter mile. Quarter mile, get the drag van again. That's better. I like it. We kind of fine-tuned that final gear, that final fifth gear. Yep. Okay, NC drag. Here we go. That's really dialed in. I like it. So even though we're not getting our 9.5s consistently, that's pretty well dialed in, I guess, as far as on the quarter mile. Try this, dude. So far, we're doing good. Nice. I'm liking this setup. A really quick shift, I guess, as far as for this quarter mile. See drag. Yeah, I'm liking it. So I'll settle with a 9.6. I'd rather get a 9.5, but this isn't too shabby. So the long tail, this was beating us, as we know. I tried to anticipate it just to see if we could get a jump on it. Nope, still beating us. I thought for sure we had it. We got a really good reaction time though. There's our 9.5. That was a really good race actually. We hit all the marks, I guess, as far as to try and beat it. So I think the long tail with that much tuning is still going to beat us. Not mad about it. I think that long tail has a little bit more aerodynamic advantage to it. So we got the LM. This is another one that was beating us. Oh yeah, he's still beating us. 9.5, so I like, yeah, we did get a 9.5 out of that one. So yeah, I think between the long tail and the LM with that much tuning, as far as it's definitely still going to beat us. Not mad about it. Special we were beating, so just to reconfirm. Beautiful. So yeah, just the long tail and the LM with pretty much any level of tuning. I think we got it dialed down, I guess, as far as it's like that. So I don't think there's much more we can do about the long, other than to put some more performance squares to it, I guess, as far as. So I guess that's what we'll try next. Okay, so while we're at it, we're gonna go ahead and put a stage 1 ECU. Boop. Not even gonna worry about 3-star or anything like that. Just put that on there like so. And let's get this calibrated over at the laptop. There we go. Alright, so we got that 100% tuned. Get this re-dyno now. We got the performance ECU into her. So now we're at a 924. That really jumped up the rating. 64 horsepower gain. That's also to include the performance. So we got 7 horsepower, I guess, as far as off the performance gearbox. Alright, here we go. Let's try this out now. We'll find out right now. GT Special. 10% tuning now total. Got some giddy up. Yeah, we might have to change that 5th gear again. I guess look at this, a 9.2. So with this ECU in there, I guess as far as it is hitting the chip, I guess as far as on the 5th gear again, right at the end, right at the tail end there. That's about it there. But we're getting a 9.2 now. That stage 1 ECU. All right, let's try CCX twin turbo. In there. I like it. Got a fun little hot rod here now. Long tail. We'll see if we can beat the long tail now with that. Tried to anticipate it. Yeah, that's not working for me. So I'll scratch that idea. Trying to anticipate it. Oh, we did get him. Oh, baby. So how much tuning did you have, though? Still at 30%, I guess, as far as... So we can beat the long tail with this setup here. That's cool. Oh, we got another wide body. Not quite as much tuning. So basically the same everything, just not as quite as much tuning. Okay, let's see if we can beat this wide body. Cool. So that, by the numbers there, we should have been able to beat him having the extra tuning. Good reaction time too. Feeling good about this one. We need to send this back. I'm gonna fine tune on that 5th gear. Hopefully one last time. So no, with this additional horsepower, kind of chipping it out there right before the end of the quarter mile again. Okay, so let's fine tune on this 5th gear. Give it a little bit more range. Cool, let's go try that out. Quarter mile. All right, let's see what you got there, CCX. Much better on the 5th gear. Even though he did beat us. Oh wow, that was a really good race. Ooh, I like the tight racing like that. That's cool. I'm not even mad about that. So he actually brought his A game. 915 to a 924. This one's a little bit less tuning. Got him out. I think it's just going to come down to how much tuning these have. Okay, so that one's beating us. Look at how close that is, though. That is nuts. Digging the close intervals. 945 to a 9. He just beat us by 1,000th of a second there. Yeah, he did have the better reaction time there too. This is the type of drag racing that I like. I mean, it's just coming down to the nitty gritty. You got to have a good reaction time. You just got to hit all the marks. Okay, we got the Zonda. So I think we were beating the Zonda against. Zonda beat us too. 9.4. Look at how close these intervals are, though. That is insane. We haven't had a better reaction time. So that's the second time we got that that time. That is nuts. How close that interval is. So yeah. So this is the other thing I was worried about. Kind of limiting who we compete up against being this high of a rating. That's the other problem. So far I'm only seeing the CCX and the Zonda so far, on different trims. This one has even less tuning than the previous two that we went up against. Nope, we beat him that time. So about 15% seems to be the highest we want to go on the CCX. Can beat it at 15% tuning. 40% tuning on this long tail. So we beat it with 30%. So this one has 40%. Let's see if we can. Yep, you got us with that 40%. Look, again, look at how close. Good Lord, son. That's crazy. I'm definitely digging the close intervals. I mean, I can't even be mad at that. I mean, I can, I guess, as far as, but the tuning that we've done on our wide body, and to get this result, based on the fact that this long tail with all that tuning previously was beating us, that's pretty impressive. There's another wide body, not as much tuning. Now, we did already prove the one that had 8%, we were able to beat it. And there we have it. That's the way it should be. I guess as far as less tuning, same everything else. So I think we got this thing dialed in as far as best we can do in this class. Body Solar Zonda with a little bit more tuning than we have. Let's try it. Okay, I'm happy with that. GTR, we haven't not gone up against this dude. I'm not 100% sure about this one. So same everything. We can't really compare, I guess, as far as this one here, because it's a totally different trim. So the fact it has a 903 rating. Nope, GTR beats us with that much tuning, so look at how close though. Good lord, that is crazy. Love the tight racing. So the GTR with that much tuning can beat us, even though it does have a lower rating. Yep, okay, so I gotta reconfirm this one now, I forget. Okay, so just to reiterate, the twin turbo, which is the CCX, as long as I had less than 15%, no more than 15%, this one, okay, so just below 9%, so the supercharged one can beat us with less tuning. So we're at the same rating. Supercharged, yeah, the one, I guess as far as the cone thing, it needs less tuning than the twin turbo. Interesting. Very, very interesting. There's another wide body. He's got more tuning. Now, again, by the numbers, everything else being the same, this one should be able to beat us, even with us hitting all of our marks, just because it has more tuning. Let's see what it can do. See, we even beat that one. Holy smokes, that's really surprising. Now, we did have a better reaction time and a better time overall. So that's kind of odd, I guess, as far as on that one. The fact that it has more tuning than we do. Now, it does kind of depend, too, what does the tuning involve? So if it's using, so we've got mostly ECU and gearbox. If this one's got fuel and other components, that might make a difference too. But the fact that it does have a higher rating, we still beat it. So the LM, it's got a little bit more tuning than the last one we went up against. Yep. So that's still confirmed. The LM was beating it. That had a little bit more tuning than what we previously went up against, the 40%. So twin turbo, he's got less than 15%. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, so this one's the supercharged, my bad. So we have already confirmed that 8%, right around 8.5 or whatever it was. So this one should still beat us. Okay, so yeah, that's just to reconfirming as far as this car, even with like 8.5%, can still beat us. So that was just, it can still beat us with that much tuning. That was to be expected. Zonda, we're able to beat this dude. Sell it and get the standard F1 is the best of the bunch. See, that's the other thing too. I don't know 100% for sure. It would be nice if we could keep them both, you know, have them both and be able to compare what kind of results we're getting on the wide body in comparison. But we know how expensive they are, right? So I might just have to make mental notes, I guess, as far as of what we're able to accomplish in the wide body to compare what the standard can do. So right now, what I'm seeing with the Performance ECU Stage 1 and the Performance Gearbox, we can easily get 9.4s all day long. So we're sub 9.5, I guess, as far as on this one all day long. So I guess that would what we'd have to take into account if we get the standard and see what we can get in between. So apply the same things that we did on this one and see what result we get on the standard, right? That might be what we could try to do. So let's go head back. So yeah, I think we're in the boat, I guess, as far as to only acquire one trim of any of those. So this has been a pretty fun experience, I guess, as far as with the wide body. So let's swap out the ECU. Let's put the standard one back here. We're going to sell this one. Get it up on the lift so we can change out that gearbox. Yeah, so you can kind of tell here, I guess, as far as with that custom exhaust there, kind of sort of, I guess, as far as that it does not line up with the exhaust that comes off that V12. I mean, the exhaust itself looks pretty killer just as far as being custom like it is, but it does not line up at all with the... So I guess if you can look past that, I guess as far as it's still a pretty nice car overall. Okay, so let's see if we can sell this dude. We are officially going to sell this one off. There we have it. So almost 13 million in profit by itself. Been a good car. Alright, so now we can try and get ourselves a standard. So let's go check out the salvage auction. So we got a long tail, 1 star, that's almost a $500,000 tail. Let's see if we can find ourselves a standard. Now we know what the long tail is all about, I guess, as far as it just has the longer rear end. But yeah, I think we're going to keep our views, I guess, as far as on getting a standard. Yeah, this one's in pretty rough shape. That needs a lot of body panels. Nope. Okay, so let's go back and let's go check out a junkyard. Let's get back to the house here and check out a junkyard. We have a battery out here too, I guess, as far as we'll keep our eyes on the lookout for a battery. There's our map. We'll take that, and there's the battery. Sweet. So we had both in the same pile. Beautiful. So we'll take our map and our battery and we'll head back home. So we're going to charge up this battery. Okay. Let's do a little bit of scrapping before we head over to the salvage auction again. Okay. So we got it all cleaned out on the inventory, other than those 2 parts. Let's go back to the salvage auction. Here's a GT long tail. 2 star. Yeah, it's missing a lot of body panels. So it's a GT long tail. So yeah, this one at least has the long tail on it. But yeah, it needs a lot of work to it. What's the engine looking like? Curious. It's like most of it's there. I can see the top end at least anyway. Let's do an examination. Yeah, it looks like most of the engine's there. Probably not a bad price to start with on this. I don't think we'll go for it, I guess, as far as, but just to kind of compare. So this one starts off at 642 and goes up to just over 3 million. GT Longtail. Alright, so let's continue to keep looking. We got an LM, 5-star, 4 million. A 5-star LM. Ooh, interesting livery on that. Fina, powered by BMW. Are they really? Is that a BMW engine? It might be. Then it goes up to 8, so basically double where it starts. Let's go back. Let's go check out the junkyard again. So yeah, one of the first McLarens that I found here at the junkyard was that wide body that we sold. So nothing on that list there, that's fine. So let's just see what kind of cars we got out here. So I know we can find one in the barn. Okay, let's go do that. Let's go check out a barn. Okay, so we did not get anything out of that junkyard visit. Let's go check out a barn. Alrighty then. You got anything loose? Not really worried about that. We're just curious to see what kind of got in there. So that's not a McLaren. Uh-oh. Did we find... What did we find here? So it is a McLaren. It's another wide body. How much do they want for this wide body? 6 mil. Almost 7 mil. So we already had some fun with the wide body. Let's buy it just to have some, just to see. So if we can make more than 14 mil 750, then we made a good buy. I think all we're gonna end up spending is that commission. So we're gonna end up losing this much money is what I'm guessing. Okay, we're gonna make note of this. 14 million 750 is what we have. If we can make more than that after fixing this one up, then we'll compare. 14 mil 750. So let's go ahead and buy it. I think it's going to end up being that we're just going to lose the commission. I think initially I'm just going to fix it up standard, much like we did with our previous wide body, and see if we make more than 14 mil 750. If we end up with more than that, then I'll say we did make some money. But I think we're just going to lose the commission. There it is, right here by the front of the barn. Beautiful. Front of the barn. Alright, let's take our crate and head back to the house. We bought that car. Okay, so she definitely needs a bath. Let's go give her a bath. She's dirty. She's been in that barn for a while. Currently, right now, so yeah, we're in really good shape with this one. So we already made more than our commission. That was 325. So we're already in good shape as it sits, I guess, as far as without doing anything to it. So actually, if we do this proper, the 325 that we played in commission for the purchase of this, we're actually above that by about, what, 170,000 or so? So yeah, we're in really good shape even with that taken into consideration. So let's give her a bath. She is that standard tangerine orange with that pearl orange. Let's just clean the interior. Yeah, we'll be able to clean this up really nice. Even gained a little bit, I guess, as far as by washing her up. Beautiful. Let's get her back over to lift, eh? So yeah, I'm gonna fix up these rims. Yeah, so just based on what we're getting on it already, I'm not even gonna worry about getting it 100%. Cool. Yeah, we'll just put the scuff back on it. So that was really the only rim that was in bad shape. I guess we can fix up this rim too. Make her presentable, I guess, as far as a little curbside appeal, right? Ooh, put that rear tire back on. So it does need a little bit of help, I think, on that intake. See that? So fuel tanks. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's take off the intake. So it's missing the throttles. Yeah, we're just gonna do the bare minimum on this to get her running. I guess as far as we can just sell it. On the driver's side, okay. Refurbish the intake. So we are gonna need some throttles. Let's grab that exhaust manifold, I guess, as far as out of the warehouse. Yeah, kind of interesting orientation though. Okay, so I think we got everything there. We missing a servo and all that, looks like it. So we got to check out this fuse panel. So the base of it looks pretty good. So we don't have a cover. Let's get ourselves a cover. Yeah, so I think the fact that all of this stuff right here is right by that that side door, I guess, as far as normally that's how you would have access to that. Pretty cool how they did. So we got to put some radiators in. So let's see what else we need to get for this. Let's check the dipstick. What do you call it, a dipstick? Right over here. Yeah, we'll have to drain that out. Let's put some fresh motor honey into her. That looks good. Nice and clean. Does it have sparkulators? Nope, we're missing ignition coils. Okay, so we get those. Can't be started. Okay, so let's do an electronic test. We might have some bad relays or something. Okay, so we do have some things that are bad. Confirmed. So alternator, that should be over here. Sweet. Now let's see if we can do some tests on it. Awesome. Alright, let's see how we're doing here. Camshaft, a set of rings. You know what? I'm still going to see if we can get this running. Even with those two bad parts there, I'm going to see if we can still get it running. It might be possible. It might be possible. Alright, so I think we got everything else. So, we should be able to get this running. Let's try it out. She does not want to start. So it's probably going to be that piston, ring, and the cam. Now, I'm going to be, how do I want to say this? So I think the cam would be more the issue than the piston ring. That's what I'm going to. So I think maybe if we change out the cam, should be able to get this running. We're going to go that route. I would like to be at least be able to get it running. So even with all what we've done here, you know how much we're worth now. So we were like lower than that anyway, I guess, as far as when we got it there. So we're in really good shape in that regard, even with it, if it doesn't run. But I want to see if we can fix that cam. So yeah, let's take all the top end back off and we'll see if we can do something with that cam. And irregardless if we can get it running by swapping out the cam, we'll just probably go ahead and sell it. We'll let somebody else deal with it. Weld it and sell it. I don't even know if I'm going to weld it. I just want to get it running. Try to, at least, anyway. So I think the cam may or may not do it. I guess as far as just to do that. That's going to be on the top end. Bad cam is going to be on this side. Just think it's going to be that one. Yep, top one. Now, we might be able to take all these cams out and just fix them up while we got them. So that cam should be repairable. Alright, let's go get these fixed up. Cams, yep. Thermostat, we'll fix that up. We have not broken any parts today, guys, but still early. Okay, refurbished cams are still otherwise pretty good shape. That timing cover is no bueno. So I didn't break that. That was already broken. And I think she's good. Let's see how good shape she is now. So she only have that one bad piston ring. Really just that one bad piston ring, which we're not going to worry about it. We should be able to get this thing to turn over now, hopefully. Okay, so that piston ring is going to be a problem, so I'm not even going to worry about it. We got it that far, I guess, as far as I'm happy with it. I may even just leave the fluid out of it because somebody else is going to have to deal with that piston. So we did the bare minimum, so with even doing the bare minimum, man, we're almost at 1 million. That's crazy, just doing that minimal amount of work on it. So let's just go ahead and sell this one. Let's get back on track, I guess, as far as finding ourselves a standard. So we definitely did make some money on it. We had 14,750. We definitely made some money off that car. Okay, so we got some scrapping to do. Let's clean out our inventory. Oh, almost got it. All right, cool. All right, so inventory is clear other than those 2 parts. We're on the hunt here. We definitely made some money off that wide body from the barn, so it wasn't a horrible thing. Let's go ahead and salvage auction. Go to salvage auction, see if we can find ourselves a standard F1. We keep getting wide bodies. Here's another wide body. It's a 1-star. So yeah, I think I want to stay away from the wide bodies. We've done at least 2 wide bodies. We just did the one from the barn. Made some money off of it. This one seems like a money pit. Here's a standard 3-star. Here we go. Now we're cooking. So there's a standard. Check this guy out. Now this looks like in really good shape for a 3-star. She probably doesn't run. Are you freaking kidding me? Salvage auction. Salvage auction and the thing runs. That has never happened for me. Ever. We definitely got a bid on this one. So this one actually runs here at the salvage auction. So it starts off at 736 and goes up as high as 3. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. So I don't even care if it goes over. This one runs, for crying out loud, at the salvage auction. So it went that much over, but we know how much these are worth, right? So I don't think we did too bad there. So let's put that in the garage. It already runs, for crying out loud. So that's I can't say that enough. That's just wild. I hardly ever find one that will actually run. So I got to try something here real quick. So this is a 3-star Pinto. Let's see if this one runs. So it may not be all 3 stars, but I'm just kind of curious to see if we can get another 3-star to run. Okay. So I just got to check another 3-star. So this. What about this Land Rover? Let's see if this one runs. Nope, cannot perform this action. Okay, so yeah, I think we got really lucky the fact that that standard one, I guess, as far as actually runs. Let's try the Porsche Carrera. Holy crap! So we got another one here that starts. So definitely, I'm gonna have to remember that. So if it is a 3-star. Yeah, but in this type of condition here, there's a good possibility it probably runs. That's wild. These are fun to work on too, these Carreras. I usually just fix these up and flip them. Let's head back over here to the garage and we'll check out our standard F1 McLaren that we just bought there for about 4 million here at the salvage auction. It already runs. There it is. So yeah, I might even leave this livery on it. That's a pretty cool livery. So it doesn't go on the fender, so it must be a different fender. This one's from Montana. Check that out. What are we doing condition-wise here? Frame's in really good shape. We are in the hole, so trying to remember what the estimated was like 3.8 million. So yeah, we definitely paid over, but we're gonna fix this one up. Get that in. Get it in the good, because I think we're going to definitely probably keep it. We already know it runs. Let's fix up some body panels. Oh, and that shot. That's a bummer. So we're going to need a fender. Some of these parts we might be able to fix and or have in the warehouse. We're going to have to buy that fender. L and E. So what do those mean there? As far as I don't know what those are for. Anyway, let's fix up these body panels. Sweet. Alright, cool deal. Let's put on here what we can. I guess while we got the body panels on, let's weld the frame. Now we know it's a good, pretty penny, I guess, as far as you get this welded. So I think it was like 18,000. This one's 35. Holy smoke. Damn. We got money now. We're not worried about it. Yeah, so especially getting that initial wide body, I guess, as far as sold, we made good on that one. Looks like we need... Did we not clean the interior? Oh, I guess I did clean it. Nice. In fact, we could probably get this over to the car wash. I think I'll put the body panels back on. How about that? And then we'll wash it. So I need to get... Man, look at that. We're already worth 3 million just as far as doing all that. That's pretty cool. Need to find out what livery that is. Add that one on there. So it says Golf. That one right there. So it automatically puts that color onto it. Don't even need to worry about what color the base is. So yeah, we're gonna get this. Give it a bath here as far as get the fade out of it. Oh wait a minute. It's missing. Hold on. We're missing this dude. Part B. So that's got to go on the roof. Our part 3. Let's get the painted. Beautiful. Alright, let's get that in there. Especially it's got that orange racing stripe across the middle. Neat. Alright, so we should be up a little bit higher on the body. Let's check our parts list and just to make sure we didn't miss. So we didn't do anything with interior. So we're missing. Okay, we just haven't done the checks on this. And we can run all the tests on it just to find out what condition all that's in. So yeah, let's do some tests on the engine. See what condition everything else is in. We only got one piston that's not in yellow. That's pretty cool. Do our OBD scan that we're seeing here. Electronic meter, when we get all the tests done, it's to kind of confirm, I guess, as far as everything is in the yellow. What's going on there, Heaven? Fuel pressure. That was in the orange. The base power we can get off of this guy. Let's double check this here. Based on the condition, let's say 528 we'll get. So 100 horsepower loss. That's what I'm gonna say. Give her a bath. Yeah, scrub-a-dub-dub. There we go. She's all nice and clean. So what are we worth here? That's crazy. We almost made as much money just fixing it up there, the body panels and that, as we paid for it. Let's get her over to the dyno. Let's see what we get. So my guess was 528. Actually more. There we go. There you have it. It's right there in the red. So we had 125 horsepower loss, I guess, as far as based on the condition, which is still not terrible. Anyway, so now that we got our dyno, let's take her over to the strip and see what she can do. Oh, we got to check fluids. That's right. Dinner tip this evening. Let's get ourselves a new reservoir. Okay, and then we'll put some fresh coolant in there. No, I guess we already got our dyno, so we're good there. Yeah, we were in the Class A. So just because I changed the oil, we had to re-dyno? That's weird. Anyway, let's move it back over there and we'll get a re-dyno. I want a nice fat steak too. Where's mine? Horsepower by adding the fresh oil in it. Who's late? Oh, we had that car trouble? You're in the right place if you got the car trouble. Alright, so we got her dynoed. Let's get her... I should be able to take her over to the strip now. Not bad, 423, so we're on the low end of the Class A. Let's see what we can do against the Mustang. Oh, that second gear. Wait, did I do 1/8 mile instead of quarter? I think I did. Yep. I meant to do quarter. And he still beat it, so I'm going to go to the quarter mile. Alright, let's try it with the BMW Pro Kart. Oh, that second gear sucks. It's almost just like the wide body, that second gear on this without the performance one in there. It stinks. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think that's one thing I want to change on this one. Okay, so we got the PN8, CA8, Hennessy. Ooh. I feel like that second gear is definitely hurting us. That second gear is definitely hurting us. So yeah, we're gonna put at least the performance. Let's head back to the house. We're gonna put that performance gearbox in here. Now, I don't know if it's gonna maintain all that gearing that we had for the wide body. All right, so we need to get this back on the lift so we can get the performance gearbox back in there. All right, let's go take it over to the dyno and see if we still got the proper calibration on this performance transmission is set up here. Same setting, 2.5 on the first, and we did 192 I guess we ended up with on the 5th. I think, yeah, it's still set up the same as the widebody. Cool deal. Let's get her dyno. Should gain a little bit more horsepower, I guess, as far as with that. So that's the AMD card. Say roughly 10 horsepower. Yeah, so I think I remember when we put that into the widebody, I think it was about 10 horsepower that we gained, so that's about right. Nice, still in the Class A. Alright, let's take this over to the strip and see how she does. No, I'm not doing it. Yeah, this one I will do. BMW Pro Car, here we go. Nice. So on this level here, I guess as far as we are, 10-second car, just under 11 seconds. That's pretty decent, I guess, as far as considering on the low end of the Class A. So we got a Dodge Viper. Let's try this out here. I want to get actually a competition in here. I'm liking it. So it's I'm gonna say just basically 11-second car at this stage here. So we got this one did beat us on the 8th mile, but I wasn't ready for that one, so we're gonna try this again. About a 7,000 red line on it. Cool, I like it. Yeah. So, sub 11-second car there. EV, so we will see what it does against the EVs. This is the electric C1 Corvette. Wait for it. Oh, maybe we did beat it. Yep, okay, cool. You beat the EV C1 Corvette. Okay, so are we limited on what we can race against in this class? I like the fact that we can beat these here, at least anyway. Oh, here we go. So supercharged, I guess, as far as Cutlass Supreme. So not the NC drag with the turbos. Supercharged engine. So at least we are getting some different cars here. I think I might want to put that performance ECU in this puppy too. Probably gain another second, I guess, as far as on our time. This thing, I just want to beat it because it's ugly looking. This is a pretty fun car, I like it. And we're not even at 100% on the base horsepower. So that's a standard Ferrari, so not the Special. We got a nice little hot rod here, I like it. I like it a lot. Turbo, one of our first turbos we get to go against, I guess, as far as with this McLaren standard. Must be the paint scheme that we got on this that makes it so fast. Beautiful. Alright, I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Let's see. So what about our Resto Mod High Boy? I like it a lot. This is a really fun class to be in. We already did this standard. This is our special with the modern V6. Let's try it out. Beautiful. So we can beat both trims of those BMW Pro car. What about the gull wing, the AMG, I guess as far as Mercedes? Beautiful. That's probably one of our better times right there. 10.8. I like it a lot. So let's go back here. We're going to sign up this way. So some of these cars we obviously didn't. We did go against both of those. We were able to beat them. So we have any electric cars? I am not seeing any electric cars. We did beat the C1 electric. Not that I'm really worried about the electrics, but there's the lineup. As that one's coming to an end, we get to go up against a Nissan 350Z for our first race. First race is good. Still getting our solid sub 11 second. Alright, next race coming up is going to be against a C8. That's a PN8. We did practice against this dude. We were able to beat it. Beautiful. So yes, we're getting in these pretty consistently as far as the sub 11 second. I'm definitely feeling that if we put the stage 1 ECU in there, which we might try that, we'll be able to beat this one in practice. Beautiful. So consistent on that time too. Very, very consistent. Digging it. Alright, the last race. This is for all the nuts and bolts. Going up against that old school Mustang Fastback. Solid. Solid runs. Yeah, we got it. This is a fun little car. I like it in this class. So I don't want to get it too high, I guess, as far as that's, quite honestly, I would not want to get it too high, I guess, as far as that. So there it is. Made it all the way to the end. Let's head back to the house. And we're going to wind this thing up here, folks. Had a lot of fun here, I guess, as far as with this F1 McLaren. Get this back over to lift A. Curious to see what we can get out of it, I guess, as far as once we get it to the base power. Get it basically the same as we had in the wide body. I think that'll be a good thing to try out on this one here. We might go so far as to put all the performance parts to it. You never know. So if you're looking forward to seeing that, I guess as far as definitely make sure, if you haven't already, hit the follow button on the channel to get the notification when the streams are live. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with this in the Class A, currently where it's at. I think this trim of the car in comparison to the wide body that we were trying to fine tune is a little bit better. I will definitely have to admit that. Now we can definitely see a comparison between the GT40, which is its close cousin, I guess, as far as to that standard McLaren. It's kind of an inspiration, I guess, as far as between the two. You kind of get the idea, I guess, as far as obviously a little bit different body styles, for sure. But the one thing that stands out to me is the headlights. As far as that elongated, it kind of follows the nose, I guess, as far as they're set back in. Got that same style, I guess, as far as on this one here. But not to be confused, too, I guess, as far as with the Ferrari. As far as with the F50, it's kind of in that same class, I guess, as far as the cars. That's why we got that GT40, just to kind of make some comparisons between the McLaren and the GT40. It's got that same body style. You can even see the that type of slope in the back there. Very similar. The Ford GT, I guess, as far as has, the one thing that it has for it is this huge scoop that it has in the front. Obviously, the McLaren doesn't have that because it is a rear engine. So, but even though this one is a rear engine, it doesn't have that scoop in the front end, I guess, as far as that's another differentiating factor, I guess, as far as to the two. Very similar in style. You got the double lights, I guess, as far as in comparison to the single lights, I guess, as far as in the back, but super fun comparison between those two, I do have to admit. But yeah, we'll be continuing to do some more work on this guy. I do hope you all have a marvelous rest of your Monday, and we'll be seeing you again real soon, folks. Bye for now.